I'm Jason Cross with Macworld, and this is a list of all the things we expect Apple to release in March 2022, including hardware, software, and services. The last couple of months were pretty slow, but things are heating up in March because Apple is expected to hold a special event sometime around March 8th. At the time we're recording this, Apple has not yet sent out event invitations, but the date will probably be official by the time you see this video. At the event, Apple is expected to reveal the new iPhone SE, which will probably look almost just like the current model, only with an A15 processor, 5G capability, and a better camera. It'll be the most affordable 5G phone in Apple's lineup by far. Apple could also introduce an updated iPad Air or entry-level iPad. We don't expect big changes to either of those, mostly just processor updates. Finally, there's the Mac. We're still waiting on a totally new MacBook Air that rumors say will have an M2 processor, a new display, MagSafe charging, and more. There could be updates to the entry-level MacBook Pros too. The Mac we're really anxious to see is the larger iMac, the replacement for the 27-inch model. It should follow the design cues of the 24-inch iMac and could have an HDR display, M2 processor, or possibly an M1 Pro or M1 Max, and lots more. We think these Macs are coming this year, but the timing is unsure. Apple could announce some of them at its March event, but we think WWDC in June is more likely. Either way, we'll finally get some new hardware from Apple in March, even if it's just a new iPhone SE. Apple often takes time during its spring events to announce some new services-related stuff. It could be anything, really, from Apple Fitness Plus to Apple TV Plus, Apple Arcade, or even Apple Card. The last few operating system updates have been sort of low-key, but the latest betas of iOS, iPadOS, and macOS are full of features. iOS 15.4 introduces a new Face ID with Mask feature, anti-stalking features for AirTag, a new Siri voice, notes in iCloud Keychain, an Apple Card widget, and more. With iPadOS 15.4 and macOS 12.3, you get the long-awaited Universal Control feature that lets you seamlessly share a mouse or touchpad and keyboard between your Mac and iPad.
It friggin' works! It's magic! It's magic!
Regardless of whether Apple announces new features for its services at the March event, there's plenty of content coming to Apple TV Plus and Apple Arcade this month. On March 3rd, The Problem with Jon Stewart returns from its break with a new weekly format instead of bi-weekly. The animated musical Central Park is also back from a long break, with more Season 2 starting on March 4th. March 4th is also when we get a second season of the Famous People Read Letters autobiography series, Dear. The Last Days of Ptolemy Gray, a limited series starring Samuel L. Jackson, drops on March 11th. A second season of The Snoopy Show lands on that day, too. The limited series We Crashed, about the rise and fall of the company WeWork, starring Jared Leto and Anne Hathaway, starts streaming on March 18th. The month closes out with Pachinko, an adaptation of the best-selling book, on March 25th. And for Apple Arcade, there's no telling what we'll get. Coming soon section of the store is blank. That doesn't mean there will be no new releases. It was blank at the start of February as well, and we still got a new game every Friday as usual. So we don't know what the new Apple Arcade games for this month will be, only that they usually release on Fridays. And that does it for Apple in March. We expect an event to announce the third generation iPhone SE and possibly some new iPad updates or even new Macs. There are big operating system updates on the way and lots of new content on Apple TV Plus, while Apple Arcade remains a mystery. In all, March is quite a big month for Apple releases, so stay tuned to Macworld.com for detailed coverage of everything Apple releases throughout the month.
I stand corrected.